Hello, it's that time again. Welcome to the 7th anniversary Roll Plus Bond live stream, the stream where we, a fan community of friends at the table, dedicated to playing one-shots, sit down for 72 hours and play games to raise money for causes around the globe. I'm Jamie OD, and I am joined by, in order of Discord,
I'm Kai.
I'm Nia.
I'm Rumda.
We are raising money for Palestine Children's Relief Fund. They aim to bring medical and humanitarian aid to children throughout the Middle East, with a special focus on Levant, which I had to look up. That includes Palestine, Lebanon, Jordan, and Syria, Cyprus, and a few other smaller territories. Okay. They work to bring about a future where all children in the Middle East can easily access care that they need, regardless of how specialized it may be. If you want to stand in solidarity with the children of the Middle East, you can always type !donate in the chat, and our handy dandy bot will bring up the details. Now, as a disclaimer for our time slot, we are having a little bug with the bot, but I'm hoping make a donation. Our game today is called Pumasi, which is a Korean compound word referring to the tradition of gathering your community, typically like extended family, together to accomplish a task. And the traditional example is like making kimchi. This game is by Boomly, and itself is a hack of Lasers and Feelings by John Harper. It is a game about passengers aboard the interstellar ark Nabi. The ship's cryotubes have malfunctioned, causing your clan and others to awaken prematurely. But the captain and crew are still in stasis as sleepers. There are 90 years left until you arrive at your destination, New Earth. You must maintain the ship and its onboard sustainable farms for the remainder of your journey. Without the captain and crew to offer guidance, the clans draw upon the agricultural customs of communal labor, Pumasi. So, just as a refresher, and for the audience, Lasers and Feelings all work. Lasers and Feelings and their hacks generally work on a principle of having two stats. There's even a Lasers and Feelings hack called "You Have Two Stats," which is very funny. But you have these two stats, and numbered 1 through 5 or something like that, close to that. And you roll the die. You want to get over one or the other, or exactly on the number, to achieve your goals. And there are complications that result from either rolling too far away from your desired number, or sometimes you can get something special as a result of landing on the exact number that you're looking for. We are going to start. Sorry, I'm getting one step ahead of myself here. Each player in this game is going to represent a group of passengers, or a clan aboard the ship. A clan might be a family, a company, a guild, or other tight-knit group. So let's think about like how you envision your group, your clan, what that looks like as we as we flesh out the details of our game today. So step 1, pick a personality trend for your clan. Giving, ambitious, independent, curious, skeptical, enthusiastic, bold, tranquil, perfectionist.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Did
Shall we go in
anyone
Discord
kind of?
order?
I don't want to because I did not think ahead of time. I was just about to ask if anyone kind of had something they were thinking about already or something that jumped out to them. Because I don't want to have like
Yes.
a group of nothing but like skeptical, ambitious, perfection. Like I don't want all nasty. But yeah, I heard a yes,
No,
and was it Nia?
I'm happy to barge ahead in the sort of spirit of the clan that I had been pondering.
Beautiful.
My clan is bold. And are we doing personality right out the gate? Are we starting doing everybody's personality, or are we doing all steps personality, exosuit, and number and name?
Do
Would you rather I share all
folks
of that, or
have
just starting
do
with
folks have a
personality?
preference? Because it sounds like you have a concept just bursting forth,
I
and
do.
and I'm wondering if other people are feeling the same, or if they want more time, and
I've
therefore
pretty much got mine down. Yeah.
okay. So let's do these step by step. I'm thinking.
Okay.
And let's pull out our handy dandy thingamabob. I want to make sure this is legible on the screen. Well, that is not super legible. That's not what I would consider legible.
Is it in Roll20?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I
Yeah.
see. I see it, and I see what you mean. It is not.
Yeah, it's a pretty fussy background to be able to put text over without a background on it.
I'm
Yeah, it should be
wondering.
possible to do like a rectangle. Or no, text boxes. Can't you set a background like you mentioned?
Well, that's what I tried to do, and instead it just created like a little aura around the text that I wrote.
Oh no.
Yeah, that was super disappointing. Thanks, Roll20.
It's simulating my migraine experience.
Oh no.
Not current. General.
Is this coming out?
Okay, so here's what I'm thinking we'll do here. Let's I'm thinking we'll shrink that down. And I think that way we'll have some white space to write on.
Maybe if it's a white text, it's going to show it better. Looking at the background, honestly.
Okay. So I'm gonna make a little mark here.
I think you might need to bring it down a bit, or need to move the stream up a bit.
Yeah, I'm trying to make a mark here so that you can see where it's visible on the stream.
It looks like it's by the first, bit of the space on the O'Neill cylinder there. Here-ish it's looking like. Yeah, so the ping
That
in
was fun.
the stream.
I like the little plink, the rainwater plink wherever you clicked.
Uh-huh.
Very
Yeah,
vibey.
it's a handy thing. Though also we might want to do it small because that's very much on the edge of.
Oh yeah, that's taking up a lot of space. Okay.
All right, so that little black line that I made.
Mhm.
There we go. Try not to put anything above that because it'll just be off screen.
Mhm.
Okay. Now I'm realizing I forgot to go over one other thing real quick, and that is we discussed before we got started on our icks and absolutely the fuck not. But I also have this little deck of cards, which I think you should be able to see on the side of your screen. This little deck of cards is a safety deck. It has green, yellow, and red. And they say exactly what they mean on them. Green, keep going. Yellow, we take a pause. Maybe you need to ask a clarifying question or redirect the direction of our play. That's a-okay. And then red is we stop. And this is not like, you don't have to use the stop just for like a panic button type stopping. Like it could just be, hey, now is a good time for us to take a break, right? So please don't be afraid to use these. The worst that happens is we just take a pause to find out what was the reason for the card being played, and so it.
Duly noted.
So now that we've got some logistical things taken care of in terms of where we're writing on the screen and things, let's return to establishing the characteristics of your clans and talking about what those look like. So we had. Now, I wrote this and then I realized that if I do that, I don't know that anybody else can actually write.
Yeah, no,
That's-
Neil will have to do it.
That's okay if you're comfortable writing it. If you're more savvy at Roll20, I'm more than happy to let you take point.
Are you? Would you consider yourself not Roll20 savvy?
Not tremendously, but I can give it
Okay.
a go. Is it this fun text button right here?
Yeah.
All right, let's give it a go. All right, let's do. Yes. So, personality-wise, my the sort of spirit that was guiding me when I was thinking about like what our clan would be after we came out of cryo, what would keep our people going for 90 years was a spirit of boldness, and it was a spirit of boldness in our interactions with each other.
Mhm.
So my clan is a clan that very much gets in each other's business, um, and considers getting in each other's business uh, part of the course of action. Doesn't make a whole ton of apology about it. So that was why I landed on bold.
All right. Now, I believe somebody else had said they also had a pretty strong concept for
Yep.
their clan.
Yeah.
Do you
So I
want to
think.
go ahead and share?
Yeah. So, what I'm thinking for my clan here is ambitious. Is the closest thing out of the ones that are there.
Okay.
Yeah. It'll be more obvious as we get more through things. Exactly what that particularly means.
Cool. Then with those two in mind, I'm going to go with tranquil.
Okay. Tranquil. I like this. This feels like a good spread.
Or curious. Curious
Hmm.
is more active for something quick. I'm going with curious.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All right. Curious it is. Okay. Okay. Step 2. Pick exosuits that reflect your clan's traditions. Builders, composters, diggers, fumigators, harvesters, landscapers, planters, repairers, tinkerers. So imagine a kind of, I mean, if there are images that come to mind from other, like from media you've watched or whatever, like keep in mind like their function, what they do, what they're for.
Mm-hmm.
Also, thank you, Caption Bot, for taking in just how many times I said the word like.
Yeah, that's always the thing with the catching bot. It reveals a lot of the eccentricities in the.
hmm Okay. I'm going to be really not wavery, but I think I want to do composters, and I do want to switch it back to tranquil.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and I won't
I'm.
shift anymore.
Yeah, I'm going with ambitious landscapers, and the whole. So the whole concept of this clan is they're very much seeking to, on the, in our destination, they're seeking to, plant and grow forests very specifically.
Tremendous. I think builders. I think bold builders
Mm-hmm.
is my clan at the moment. Um, yeah, I think this sort of time frame and the sort of mess of the current moment uh, leads my folk to making a thing that will get us through tomorrow. and not necessarily focusing on, the perfect thing, because it's not like we're necessarily going to use it forever.
Yeah. Okay.
Now, that being said, I'm not quite sure how to edit this text. We've got
If you just click on
Yeah.
it, you should be able to then
it with the... Oh, there we go.
with the arrow, with the
Yes,
select.
yes.
If you do it text, then
Appreciate
it
it.
just creates another one because
Yes. Amazing.
1
Thank you.
million text boxes.
Yeah. Okay.
Your restraint in not saying that in the Dr. Evil voice is noted.
Thank you. It didn't come to me until more than halfway through, so we were saved.
All right. So step 3 is to pick a number between 2 and 5. A higher number means you care more about your clan, looking after yourself and your own, and a lower, goodness gracious, it's going to be one of those days. And a lower number means you care more for the community, helping others outside your circle. So, 5 would be like you are very much like clan oriented. 2 would be like, absolute dedication to the community, those outside your clan. And I'm imagining this, it's not necessarily like mutually exclusive, but it does sort of like highlight priorities, right, about your clan, right?
Mhm.
So go ahead and pick your number, keeping in mind that there are no duplicates.
Okay.
Oh,
Uh,
that's a good one.
then I could shift it, but I'm thinking 2. Like compost
Go
is
with 4.
something that everyone's gotta. Yeah,
I was thinking 3 or 4, so
perfect.
decisions made for me. So
Beautiful.
I think one of the few times in Laser Things I haven't gone with 2 or 5.
Oh, that's fun.
Okay.
Yeah, no middle sliders.
All right.
And I'm going with 3.
Wonderful. So we have ambitious landscapers with a 4. So very much focused on the clan. Bold builders with a 3. So very balanced between prioritizing the clan and the community. And then we have
It's just as focused on, the community as mine is focused on the clan. So
We are fun mirrors across the middle axis.
yes,
yeah.
we should probably actually move our things up to the other side of each other.
Fun.
Yeah.
Here, I'll trade. Do-do-do-do.
Wait. Okay.
This is like the worst game of Tetris I've ever played. All right. So our next step is to give your clan a futuristic name, like the Nebula family, the Starline Corporation, or the Guild of Orion. And you can be as shamelessly referent to other media as you would like. I'm not terribly picky. I'm not here to police your fun.
There we go. I'm going with Green Compact for the name. So yeah, my clan's very much in the middle ground between like an actual just extended family sort of clan and a cult.
Great. Um,
I think mine, I'm going in the direction of like a firm name. I think there is always something sort of pleasing about, you know, you get to space and you get to the future, and yet the same sort of nonsense that, always leads to one naming your company just after, the chief players or the chief partners or whatever.
Uh-huh.
And so I think despite the fact that nobody involved is named any of these things, I think it's going to be uh, uh, Layden or Smithers and Co.
Amazing. For mine, I am trying to think of the first word, but I want combine for the like business type. But I can't think of a good first word. Like it could just be compost carbine, but that's a little combine, but that's a little too simple.
What about mulch? What about the word mulch?
Mulch masters. Yeah. No, I do like mulch, but it
Mulch
doesn't go with
Masters is a
combine.
poker player.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, actually I do like mulch a lot. So it can be the mulch collective.
Mm.
Heck yeah. That is really good.
Mulch Collective is going to be the name of my next folk punk band.
Mm-hmm.
It's good. It's good. Well, it's like Animal Collective, but for the vegetarians.
Yeah.
It's the grim future of all animal collectives.
No, it's not grim at all. It's
Yes.
beautiful, and it leads eventually to more animal collectives in the future.
Yes.
That's why we're so tranquil. This is
Yes.
our perspective.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah. Okay. So your clan has a collection of exosuits maintained by your clan over generations. So think like these are like the best hand-me-downs you could ask for, or maybe not, like you flavor it how you want to. You also have private communicators for your clan and public access network to keep in contact with the ship's AI and everyone else. Now, I am going to steer away from being mirroring too much of like real world AI nonsense and go full tilt towards like the more
actual AI, not
the
just
actual
copy-paste.
the actual AI that's cool that we see in film and television. So
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah.
I do
But,
have an
yeah.
AI character in another game who is really angry about large language model stuff because it's just besmirching AI and it's just basic copy paste. And
Oh, just wait.
she goes on a massive rant about it regularly.
Oh, just wait. This gets good. I think you'll like what comes next here. So your goal as players is to bring the interstellar arc and its passengers safely to their destination. Your clan, each of your clans, your goal is to preserve your clan, their legacy, and the tradition, and your clan's traditions until you reach your destination. So together, we are going to build this arc ship. And I want you to think about, I'm going to read these off and think about which seems like the most fun for our game. Pick a trait here between advanced hydroponics, empathic AI, genetically diverse seed vaults, smart automated security, sturdy fusion reactor, or sustainable replicators, which I'm taking to mean something like Star Trek The Next Generation. Just ask for what you want, and it just yeets itself into your lap.
Yeah. I have two of these that I like. And that's genetically diverse seed vaults. Because I feel like that's a not easy thing to defend, but like something that can be defended and still lost pieces of it, or still have pieces of it be lost. But I also do kind of like sustainable replicators, like that is extremely multifunctional, almost too multifunctional, which is why my favorite is definitely genetically diverse. But I'd love to hear.
I definitely like genetically diverse seed vaults myself, just because of going from my clan's perspective, definitely genetically sustainable seed vaults.
Yeah.
It sounds like, does anyone feel strongly that they hate that genetically diverse seed vault?
No.
Okay.
That sounds
seems like
absolutely. If I think if my clan's focus had been more on that in general, I think I also would have pulled for that. Especially because we have sort of two clans that are very focused on making sure that our arable land remains usable. So having the focus on like a seed vault and like seed cultivation sounds like a good way to.
Okay, so let's go with that.
Especially since no one's picked any of like the more base farming stuff like the planters and harvesters. That's obviously that's the thing that all three of our clans are doing.
Yeah. To throw it out there, I definitely think the one that I would have the one that I'm sorry to say goodbye to is the sturdy fusion reactor.
Yeah.
But I think we can sort of dream of that and try to get a role that maybe gives us one. So
yeah,
I'm
that's
sort of
true.
seeding that into the world.
Well, we have genetically diverse seed vaults, so I think we can make it happen.
Yep.
I have, again, like two that I like from the drawbacks. I don't know if you wanted to run through them first, Jamie, or if we should just start discussing.
Yeah, let me just quick run through them. But it's totally cool that you're reading ahead, because I I feel like there's a lot of good options here, so it's good to have one in mind. So now we pick a drawback from among these. We have broken climate control, prone to extreme temperatures, overbearing AI. Friends, this is for your own good. Porous infrastructure, likely to house vermin or worse. Unstable gravity, things float and clog systems. It sounded like there was one that jumped out.
For me, it was 2, unfortunately, which makes it a little harder. I wonder if we're on the same page again, but I'm really enjoying like picturing the challenges of broken climate control and overbearing AI.
I was thinking porous infrastructure myself, because that could be fun.
Not to make this even more comic, but I was dreaming of
Unstable
unstable
gravity?
gravity. But I do sort of love broken climate control or porous infrastructure. I
So,
think
actually, we're at $95. If someone donates 5, they can choose.
Oh, there we go.
Get us to 100 for the start of it.
Yeah,
That would be fun.
is our thermostat busted, or are there gerbils in the walls?
Or is it just shit just floating around?
It's been a long time since I played a Lasers and Feelings, but this one is interesting to me so far because I'm not really sure what it's drawing on aside from, this concept of like community cohesion, like working together for an end result. So like with, like we keep talking about like stuff in the walls and my head jumps to tribbles, or we say like this thing and replicators, and we know like we have a general idea or a very good idea of how next gen, like Star Trek Next Generation replicators work. But with this one, I'm like, I don't know what media I'm supposed to be thinking of.
There's
so
not
it is very
really
interesting.
much sci-fi specifically focused on like big arc ships. Really?
Yeah, I'm kind of thinking of, and it's not even arc ships, I guess, but like one of the Becky Chambers books definitely had like space station life, which is, there's something. Well, and that's honestly why I thought Composter's Tranquil. Like there is the responsibility for like the solemnity and the respect for the dead with that one, but like, yeah, it is interesting because
looks like we have hit it. So who's got the list of donations so we can see what was sent?
Oh, that's a great point. I don't know if I'm able to log in. I can try.
Let me just...
I do see that someone has cast a vote in the chat, but
Okay.
Live donation. Oh, there we go. So Halcyon puts £5 in for everything floats. And also, more importantly, we had 300 from Austin.
Woo! Thank you, donors.
Wow.
And I think we've also had 25 from Wendy Lou 32, which I think was after we started, because we definitely went up a bit from when we started here. So yeah.
Shout outs to my homie Aster who donated 30 and said Noir for the win. Aster is in the same corporation as me in EVE Online. So, thank you, Aster.
Haha.
Okay, so I see. Yeah, we've got a vote. We've got a vote in the chat, which I'm willing to go with. Is anyone feeling strongly they don't want to go with that one?
I mean, the donation did go for everything floats, so the gravity.
Oh, okay. Everything floats. I didn't see that. Okay. How do you picture this?
I think it's probably more that there are like just trying to think, because if we're going like with like an O'Neill cylinder ship, like it's in the picture, it's going to be centrifugal gravity most of the time, rather than gravity plates or anything. Yeah, that's why I was thinking there, Halcyon. Like the spins just get slightly irregular, so not so much things float unless things get bad, but it's could be any sort of go faster or slower, so it's stronger or weaker.
Mm-hmm.
And that's like a global, given its spin, it's going to be like a ship-wide thing rather than just like if we're going like with Warhammer 40k like gravity plates, where it would just be sections that go weird.
Yeah,
Or we could
I
just
think
have it be grav plates and then it go really patchy.
I don't see why we can't have our cake and eat it too. But I do think that there's a sort of fun whimsy to keeping the rotation. I think that there's something, evocative about picturing a thing sort of spiraling through space. I think arc ships are sort of similarly. They always make me think of merry-go-rounds on their side. Just because that's sort of the way that I learned to understand, centrifugal force. But I think you could absolutely have like a combo of the two. You could absolutely have maybe the key areas of the ship under them have some sort of like gravitic plate built into them, but then the intervening spots of the ship, you're
I mean,
at the mercy of how fast or how slow the rotation is.
and generally at the end, the end caps won't have
Mhm.
centrifugal spin to begin with, and then if there's anything down the center of it, that's not going to have, because I know a lot of O'Neill cylinder type ships have like a central like transport tube from one end to the other.
Yeah, and I'm thinking about, over the course of however long our generations are awake and exploring a ship that was never necessarily meant to be a fun place. Picturing, how every generation is going to learn that they actually do have to counsel, the kids and the teens of each new generation. I know it's super fun out there. Don't have too much fun, It's very unpredictable. It's like teaching kids about the tides, Like it's simultaneously so joyous and also so scary.
Oh yeah.
And so it has that fun, it has that fun tension. So that was sort of why I was drawn to it.
Yeah.
So thank you, voters.
I'm picturing kids like daring each other to go to particular spots on the ship where there's like very little gravity and like daring each other to jump, so that they can see how high they get and, fool around that way, that kind of thing.
Yeah, how many flips can you do?
And speaking of tides, it's if there's like fluctuations in the gravity, that's going to be causing like actual tides as well, in like any bodies of water on the ship.
Of
That
course,
would be such a mess.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Not even the tides, just the fact that they lose gravity. Where's that water going? Everywhere.
It might not just be losing it. It's just enough, because I mean that's what tides are in real life. It's gravity fluctuations due to the moon pulling on the water. So. Well, probably
love
inevitably
it.
with the water because it's fluid, pulls more. But yeah.
Mm-hmm. No, I love it. Thanks for being willing to go with it.
Mhm.
Yeah, it also produces a sort of neat, labor of necessity between our groups.
Mhm.
There's infrastructure needed in order for the basic tasks of survival that
Mhm.
your clans are doing to sort of persist and stay with their responsibilities. And I think
Mhm.
sort of similarly, there was always an imbalance where the sort of clan of builders was always sort of the most ancillary, and so now there's like a reason for them to exist.
Yeah, I think especially if things weren't if things weren't designed for this on things landscaping and building, it's gonna have to be your step up to actually, because if however long we've actually been out here, if this has been on the fritz for a while, then there's going to be like a lot of damage to the prepared landscape of the and any structures that have been pre-built in the ship.
Totally. Also, it took me this long to see Defying Gravity.
Yes, well, it is indeed time to close our eyes and leap. So, wow, I really sidelined my brain by bringing up my favorite musical.
It happens.
All right, so to begin, I am going to we're going to start with an introductory situation that we'll play through, and throughout when you are trying to solve a when you are trying to solve a particular piece of the problem, and I ask you to roll for something, or you want to make a roll for something, if you are motivated to um, to solve this problem, you take one additional die to your roll, and that is determined by your personality. So if you can make the case that like your clan would be motivated to solve this problem, you can roll one additional die. If you have words expertise, which is determined by your exosuits, then you would also get +1 die. And I'm gonna be fairly generous here. I don't like I don't know what the word is for this, but like I don't like being a hostile GM. So you just make your case, and unless I'm like, I really don't understand where you're coming from on that, let's stick to the base die roll. I think you'll be able to get it. So, but the most important thing is just like, tell me about how your clan is motivated or has expertise for this particular situation. And I think we'll start. I think we will start with an alarm goes off, and it's not the panic, oh shit type alarm. It's more like a warning, right? And you're noticing that let's see, who are my so it would be the green compact and the mulch Yeah, I think the Mulch Collective would also get this warning that's notifying you that there is a contaminant in the water that could present a potential problem for the Ark.
Okay.
Um,
So, which of our turns is it to actually, deal with this? Who's actually starting doing this thing?
Yeah. So
I think I have a good case,
this
unless
is
there's another way that I've missed to determine.
yeah. And this is particularly dangerous for the elders and the young, the real young among your clans. So I'm willing to hear I'm willing to hear your thoughts and questions and concerns.
Yeah, so if we're going in, Discord order with, kind of starting off and what's collective, then yeah.
Tell me about the Green Compact's reaction to this warning.
Okay, so it is because of how the helping works, it's always specifically one person is in charge of the entire thing. But yeah, I think we're definitely concerned, obviously, because this is yes, this right now this is a danger just to the elders and the young, but the elders and the young are going to be everyone eventually. At this point, so it's a thing that we do need to does need to get sorted.
Okay, so very much focused on finding a solution. Does that sound right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay. Was there somebody else? Kai, did the Mulch Collective have a reaction here?
Yeah, I think this is in our wheelhouse. I think, like finding a balance in like the right inputs to make a proper compost, but then also I think it's a broader thing. I don't think composting is the only thing. It's just what the exosuits are. So we don't specifically have like lanterns, right? You're landscapers. So I think maybe we can take a little bit of that on board of like analyzing soil, analyzing growth. And then I guess we feel that like looking into like actually investigating what is contaminating the water is not something that's like out of our skill set. So I think we're coming at it pretty even keeled, even though it's definitely a big threat. It's not something that like you said with the alarm, it's not a panic alarm. It's like okay, time to jump into action.
Yeah. So it kind of seems like your clan's stance would be very much in line with like taking on a supporting role in the Green Compact's efforts to find a solution to the problem. Do you tell the other clan, Laydener, Smithers, and co?
Which of us? I'm also not sure. So it's the green compact rolling.
That's what it seems like here.
Okay.
But I want to get a sense of, I want to get some flavor in here of how I'm asking these questions to get a little bit of flavor around this this role, so it's not just purely mechanical.
Is this year one of the arc coming out of cryo? Of all of us getting into our various responsibilities that we've been thrust into early?
Good question.
Or
kind
are
of-
we a little ways in?
I kind of assumed it was, but I feel like any of you could make a case for it being further along in the journey.
I that was my vision as well. I love the idea that we are like we got thawed and leapt into our sort of respective responsibilities.
Mhm.
And so I think that there's an argument to be made that uh, Layden or Smithers and Co. Or the lads, as like people come to call them.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. It's a little hard to get. It's a little hard to get hold of the leadership of the lads because the actual leadership is not the in practice leadership. Um,
Mhm.
and the people that you would tell if you wanted to actually communicate something to the clan. Over the years, you're going to start to realize that it's like, you know, that it's like 3 elders and 1 like particularly involved, like, you know, 1 particularly involved community member. But I think as somebody in one of the other clans sends a report to the home base of the lads, and it
Mhm.
just gets filed away by whatever person who is responsible for doing that, which is essentially every person who didn't rush off to actually go do something. And so it's a very put upon person who's doing the filing for essentially
Mhm.
8,000 people that just rushed off to immediately go do the most necessary thing. And they see the water alert come in and are very concerned, but don't necessarily, uh, they don't have the contacts to like escalate it appropriately. And so this ends up, I think, being a decision by the Green Compact and the Mulch Collective de facto because we're so early in the journey.
Mhm.
So
Definitely. Okay, so I think this is there's a problem with there's something tainting the water.
correct.
Do we have any idea what's causing it as we go to investigate?
I would say that is the first thing that would probably be the first step in a chain of events, right? Is trying to understand where it's coming from or what's causing it. One of those 2 vectors of approaching the problem.
Okay, yeah. So the issue right now for this turn is specifically finding out what is actually causing the issue.
Yeah. I mean, I'm leaving it up to you to decide how you want to approach it. If you want to find out the cause or like find out more information about the contamination itself and try to solve it either way. I don't think either one is a wrong approach.
Yeah. So I mean, just out of character here, I can't think of a solution to try and solve anything if I don't know what's causing it. So it's just straight up this is just finding out what the
Yes.
can only be finding out what the issue is if this is how we're framing it.
Fair enough. Yeah. So I would say
I'm actually not sure. I feel like with base lasers and feelings, there's like multiple roles for a given
Yes.
challenge.
Yes.
This is
But in
explicitly
this,
not that. So
yeah,
it is kind of strange. Like I get what you're saying, Rhonda. It's like, how do I roll to find, like, how do I find out without
yeah,
knowing
because
what it
it's
is? But
just looking at the option there. It is each turn there's a each turn there's a new problem, and
yeah. And I think what it is actually is that, like, this is a sort of, do you seek help or do other people volunteer help? And then you roll, and then you have to, like, instead of you to do the move, you do the move. Actually, this is not that. This is, what's your number, and then you narrate after. I think, if I'm reading it right, I
Yeah,
think
well, no,
that's
it
the
sounds
sort of
it's
like shift that
the player.
I had to make in
The
my
GM
head.
describes the situation, and then the player invents a solution to, and then
Mhm.
other players choose to help. So
Yeah, and the key
we need the
decision-
solution and then roll.
Yes, and the key decision seems to be your solution is either of more benefit to your clan or it's of more benefit to your community.
Mhm.
So you determine
Yeah.
that before the roll. So
Okay,
I
yeah.
think if you are inclined to leave the specifics of your solution up to post roll, the one thing you would need to know is whether you're focusing on a solution that is more beneficial to your clan or more beneficial to your
Which
community.
Okay.
with
Yes.
that will, it does seem to be by default we get the full situation and then deal with it in one
Yeah,
turn.
I see where
For
we're.
sure.
I see where the. Yeah. Okay.
For
My
sure.
bad. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So let me flesh this out a bit more. So I think upon further investigation, you find that there is some kind of waste or runoff that is leaking into the fresh water supply, and it is like kind of creating like that perfect perfect, like, what is it called, like the petri dish for growing bacteria, kind of nasty,
Mhm.
gross.
Yeah.
And so, like, this warning is like specifically telling you, like, hey, the water's contaminated, and it's giving you like a readout, like the specifics of what is in the water that's contaminating it, and so you know just by the composition of it, like, oh, this is like these chemicals are like a waste product. This is a
Mhm.
runoff product, and so like the issue here is, how do we stop this? How do we stop this leak into our freshwater supply, um, so that we don't uh, make ourselves sick? And who ourselves is, obviously, is going to be, dependent on your clan and your priorities as a clan.
Yeah. So I think. Mhm. Okay, yeah. So I think what we're going to attempt to do is we are going to attempt to like redirect the water away from where the where the leak is doing, and then try and possibly like sort out like a containment thing for that, and then maybe then use to make some use of the runoff as it's gathering safely rather than being going to the water supply and causing issues.
Yeah. So is this like redirecting the water line so that it doesn't.
Redirecting the water supply so it avoids the area where the runoff is, and then when we got that done, building some sort, making some sort of containment around there, so we can then deal with the leak or make use of the runoff in some other thing down the line. That's the overall solution if things go spectacularly well.
Okay. And would you say, I mean, I feel like the answer to this is pretty obvious, but I'm just going to vocalize it. Would you say your clan is motivated?
Yeah, the clan's definitely motivated here, and I think as well, it is very much, as we're redirecting it, we are redirecting it to, match up with, the plans that we've got for what our ideal landscape is going to be. So using this as an opportunity to further make the space here more like what we feel it should be.
When you have a landscaping shaped hammer, everything looks like a landscapable nail.
Uh-huh. And when you've got like a religious duty to try and make things as they should be, and you get an opportunity to, you're going to do that.
Yeah, it's the landscaper equivalent of martial law.
Yeah, so obviously motivated and obviously got the expertise, because what is a landscape exosuit good for if not for digging new channels for water?
Yeah. Okay. I'm also thinking Mulch Collective
You
is helping here. Am I recalling that correctly?
Yeah, I think this sounds like something that we can really help with. And it also fits well with the more community centered stat number, because I will get a -1 to my next roll. And I think that's okay. Not a -1. I have however many dice. I need to remove one. So I think it's still like all jives well
Yeah.
to help out.
Yeah. Sorry, you might have just explained this and it just like did not compute in my brain, so forgive me. How do you imagine the Mulch Collective helping in this case? What does that look like?
It was probably more in the understanding what the contaminant was and its source, like being able to track it back, and then like based on what's been described so far, the actual action of everything, the like digging channels, the active rerouting, that's all on the green compact, but the sort of collaboration to get them the information to help make that decision, that is what the Mulch Collective brought to it.
Yeah, I mean, there's probably now some help from you all with making the seals for the containment, so it doesn't leach into the substrate of the blades.
Maybe we would have some,
if you're doing
like
composting, you're going to be.
You know what? That's very true. You said build, and I was like, I think that sounds like Mia, but actually, no, you're completely right. Like, that is a part of composting, is making sure that like your vats are well sealed. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Some like advice and guidance there.
Agreed. There's not a
I mean, unless the lads actually got the message and are coming to help as well.
Well, so I think, correct me if I'm wrong, mechanically, one other clan helps the other clan. Like, I don't know that can multiple other clans help?
It does say if you want to support another clan on their turn.
It doesn't really limit. It doesn't really specify a limit to how many clans can support.
I think narratively, I've already painted myself into a corner where we didn't.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's a classic. We would have helped, but the AirPods were too loud.
Perfect.
Okay, so this is 4 dice and roll under because it's you're going for our ideology as much as it is for the community.
Yes, yeah. That's one base plus 1 support plus 1 for expertise plus 1 for motivation. Yeah, so
Okay.
4 total.
And we're looking for under a 4. Yeah, that is 3 successes.
Hey.
So yeah.
If you roll 3 successes, you found a spectacular solution. The ship gains a permanent benefit.
Oh,
Yeah, so I'm thinking permanent benefit. I think the vat of runoff is probably going to be useful for manufacturing things making things down the line.
Ooh, does it have to be from that list of benefits that we had at the start, or can we define our own benefit?
I'm going to say define your own benefit at this point.
Yeah, I mean, given the given the list on there, and
Yes.
given
Yeah.
the general
Yeah.
how long
Yeah.
if there's 4 players, 2 turns, it's going to if we get permanent benefit, that's going to really start restricting the amount there. If it's just in there.
Yeah. Or we'll have to get multiple ones, like when you finish like a 4X game and you start getting like future tech.
Yep.
Yes, 1000%. All right. The funny thing is that felt sort of inevitable given how many dice we put on it, but my
Yeah.
heart did sort of leap immediately seeing those 3 successes and then fall
And
a little bit seeing that you had rolled an 11, even though that doesn't mean anything in this context. I was like, oh no, that's
yeah.
so far over 4.
that's too big.
Yeah. And because I succeeded, I increased my number to 5 because it's a movable
Mhm.
game.
Yeah,
It's
really getting that
very
like
much
honey heist vibes.
Yes.
yeah. There's really like the 2 sorts of laser themed games. The ones where the number is movable and the ones where it's not.
Mhm. Yeah.
So yeah, if we can put the chemical feedstocks or what have you on somewhere, possibly like given it's a ship benefit, probably in the ship thing, Jamie.
Yeah, how should I phrase this? Chemical.
I just basically chemical
Reserves?
feeds I think feedstocks probably makes more sense because it's something that can then be used to synthesize other things.
Yeah, you've discovered chemical X.
Should we all move our little blurbs up to the black line so that
Yeah,
Oh, clever.
yeah, and it's also just that bit. There we go.
there we go. Now the ship has room to grow, or
Mhm.
grow positive, grow negative.
Yes.
Yep. Oh, we should probably put a plus and minus next to the things just so we know which are. I mean, it's kind of obvious that chemical feedstock could also be a more negative thing.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and then you probably want to either shrink or move it because
Oh, yeah.
well,
Well, I definitely
just a
can't
little
shrink
cut
it.
off.
Yeah, no, I can't shrink it. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, if you click on it, you can change the font
Oh,
size.
no. I mean, morally.
Okay.
I can't, given our
So
vibe.
principled.
Yeah.
Okay, then move yours to the left then again.
Oh, okay. Got it. Understand. There we go.
Because then I can slot mine in there easier.
Aha.
I see what you've done. Okay, perfect.
Okay. So, guessing, yeah. That's So we dig get the channels dug, get the water, redirect all the water to our more appropriate directions, and make a vat of potential useful chemicals that we can reprocess.
Yeah. Do the chemicals immediately start benefiting us, or is it like a while down the line?
I think going for forexing, this is just a resource to exploit. Turning what was a problem into a resource.
Yeah. Bank area
Your
in your favor.
civilization has discovered rubber.
You've discovered Luffy.
Okay. Some time passes, and I think it starts with reports coming in of loud banging in various places throughout the ship. And at first it's just assumed like, it's kids, it's or like, it's written off and ignored until one day there is a one of the like what is it called? I'm looking for the word here. Like one of the, I guess it's not quite a motor, right? But
Engine, I think, is what you're looking for.
it's the thing that controls the spin drift.
Oh.
Yeah. So I think a key component in the function of the spin drift has a critical failure, and this is causing it. The gravity was already a bit questionable in certain places, but now it's like, now you'll sit down to dinner and suddenly dinner and you are floating floating towards the ceiling, right? That kind of thing, just randomly, because the spin drift will slow down to the point where it's no longer providing that essential gravity, and it's causing all kinds of problems. And this is primarily a threat to I'm going to say it's really a threat to everyone, but I will say it is a threat to your clan, because I feel like there are a number of ways that you could that your reputation is at stake. This is a threat to your clan because gravity is such an important part of each of your work depends on it. So questions, pitches for who might try to solve this, who might step up to take this on.
Yeah, I think the lads are first out, for sure. I think 2 years in, some of the logistics have been ironed out a little bit, and so there is a little bit more leadership by people of experience who had been sort of previously focused on, basic training and safety training. Um,
Mhm.
so that crew who had seen exactly that crew who had seen sort of equivalent injuries and misbehavior of those machinery spring into action, and so essentially a investigative force of some of the older members of the lads, um, and would sort of spring into action and go to try to manually fix the spindrift motors. And I don't know if there is a constructive way to help, but I'm definitely open to it. Um, I think there is. This is a case where I would say um, our boldness is helping, but the expertise is not helping. Because the expertise is the expertise of the people inside the exosuits and not the actual exosuits themselves. Our builder mechs are, if anything, a little bit of a hindrance to
Can you
people who.
explain that a bit? Because I actually was going to
Sure.
argue that
Yeah.
your mechs might actually help. Your exosuits might actually help. But tell me
Sure.
how you envision that.
I think the majority of our mechs have been retrofitted um, to do building labor, to do building maintenance and teardown labor. And some of the mechs, which had originally been purposed for automated ship repair, have instead been repurposed for manual construction and maintenance.
Mhm.
And so there's less of those mechs that were meant to do ship repair than we would have started with. Um,
Oh.
yeah. It's sort
Yes.
of
So
the,
you're doing more like civil engineering than mechanical engineering.
to the extent that I understand those, yes. But yeah, no, 1,000%. I would say maybe we started off with a reserve that was, 70-30 one direction, and now it's like 50-50. And so some of the exos that we would have wanted to use to repair the motor of the spindrift motor of the ship um, just are not available for that purpose. And so three of the elders on the sort of task force go out in ship repair exos, and one of them goes out in a Bob the Builder looking doohickey. And so my pitch here is that I have 2 dice out the gate rather than 3. But I do think the focus here is a collective role. I don't
Mhm.
think the builders are angling for a personal clan benefit here.
Mhm.
So does anybody help? And yes, way to find out.
The Mulch Collective doesn't really have anything to contribute, I think.
Yeah.
That's okay.
I'm thinking we can probably help just by, shifting, doing landscaping to like shift the some of like the massive material around where the
Yes.
motors are dying to other places, making more flattening things out there, making and then making mountains elsewhere
Yes, especially
or
because
hills
there's
elsewhere.
now debris floating everywhere. And
Mhm.
so the ability of the landscapers to corral stray terrain would be very
Mhm.
helpful as we try to go investigate, and a sheep just comes floating by and it's just bopping into this 55-year-old who's just like, oh my gosh, I'm trying to remember what I did 30 years ago when I fixed this the first time. um yeah, 1,000%. Do you is that your inaugural role to help, or is there no role to help?
Yeah, the help is just you help, and you'd lose a dice for your next turn.
Yeah, so you so the lads roll get an additional die when they roll. So
Oh, okay.
your base
Cool.
is 1, and then
Yes.
you are motivated, so that's 2, and then with the green compact helping, that's 3. So
Okay, I'm
go
rolling
ahead and make
3d6.
this 3. Yeah.
And so I was trying to roll over because it was community focused.
Yes. I
Who's
think
your
so.
master?
Okay. No, I did not quite get a Pumasi because my score is 3. Oh, or it doesn't
Yes,
seem that
it's
I
So
did.
right.
close.
Yes.
Yeah, so just
So
two.
I have 2 successes. If you roll 2 successes, you did a fine job, and the ship stays on course with no changes. I think there's definitely, a shot of, all sorts of debris, clattering over these mechs as they try to work. Our Bob the Builder friend ends up being more useful than thought, in just sort of keeping it some of it away, but without the green compact tossing up nets and retaining walls. It would fully not have been possible, and eventually the ship goes from having a sort of herky-jerky type rotation, which the kids were enjoying, but everybody else was, appalled by. Uh, it goes to having a sort of more level, like, as it spirals through space and continues on its way.
Yeah.
That's great.
The bot didn't caption you humming there.
That would be so
That's
impressive if it could be like, yes, let me say what piece it is, the composer.
Yeah, Shazam me.
Yeah. Or just try and just transcribe it, which
That's
That
okay.
would've
That would be like when you played record backwards and heard, the voice of the devil. What would it
Yeah.
transcribe me as singing?
Donate now.
Yeah. We're
Okay.
coming up on about an hour and a half. Should
Mhm.
we do a break before my challenge and then like assess the time, like the in-game time flow? Like, or I guess we could do that now. Like how much time has passed with these two like big challenges?
Yeah.
It
So
does say each turn represents a given year, decade, or generation of the ship's
Mhm.
journey.
Yeah. So which of those?
so I'm
we talked
imagining,
about the sorry. Mhm.
and feel free to chime in if you disagree or have like a thought. I am imagining that the time between the first and second challenge is like a decade. And then
Oh, cool.
I'm thinking for this next one, it might be like I'm thinking maybe like a full generation if we're gonna take a break.
Oh.
Yeah, I think the gravity fix in my mind, the gravity fix it happened within a year and it was fixed within that year. Um, but I think if we want to say that sort of brought us back to a state of equilibrium and life continued until we ran into the next challenge and a generation had passed. Or rather, a generation had been brought into existence.
Yeah. So what like 20 years into the 20, 30 years into the voyage at this point? 40 years maybe? 50 years off?
Yeah, somewhere somewhere close to midway into the journey now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And how long do we want to take as the break?
Should we say let's come back at 45?
Yeah, 10 minutes. Works
Sounds
well.
good.
All right. And we are back. Hello, everyone. If you are just tuning in, this is the Roll Plus Bond 7th anniversary stream, and we are raising funds for the Palestine Children's Relief Fund. You can donate by following the link in the chat, !donate to get that link. You can also support the bundle of games, also benefiting the Palestine Children's Relief Fund, linked in the chat. So with that, let us get back to our game. Now, just to recap, so we had a water contaminant that the Green Compact and the Mulch Collective worked together to solve, which resulted in rerouting the water line and using the runoff as like repurposing it to be like a chemical feedstock. And then we had a critical malfunction in the spindrift, in like the mechanics of the spindrift, which the lads stepped up with the Uh-oh. Brain just
Yes,
evacuated. It was the
with
support of
with the support of the Green Compact.
Green
We
Compact.
sent in some
Okay.
of a crack squad of older mechanics
Yeah.
to resolve the gravitic mishaps.
Yeah. And so some time has passed. And it's sorry, I'm just pulling up my sheet and did not do it very smoothly. So some time has passed. And there is a bug in the soil that is almost certainly a pest. It is eating at the roots of crops, and any sort of like anything that grows in soil, it will eat the root structure, causing it to like, you may not notice that it's dying right away because the root structure like may be damaged before it dies, but you're noticing that the crops are unhealthy, they look sickly, and they are not producing as much food and supplies as expected. And yeah, I am curious to know how the Mulch Collective might address this.
Yeah, you were saying this is more of a generation spanning issue? Like, that's the time frame we're kind of thinking about for this one?
Yeah, I think this one starts off slow. Like at first it's just like, oh, some of our crops are just, we had a lower yield
Mhm.
this year, right? But then
Got
as
it.
time goes on, it's like, oh my gosh, our crops look sickly, and we don't have, like, we are our yield is very lean. Like we are just barely putting food on plates, that kind of thing. And so it just progressively becomes more apparent that something is really wrong, and it's revealed that there is this bug that is eating at the root structure of the crops.
Okay. This is definitely something I think that is well served by the sort of tranquil mindset, like the long
Mhm.
view. I mean, we all have a long view, right? We're on a colony ship that we're going to another planet, but I think the tranquility, tranquil, which I chose, is really coming into play here. Like, um, well, actually, I will ask: is it something impacting like every crop, or like a certain subset of them, like one single species?
I
Probably it's
imagine
bigger.
that's part of the generational aspect, right? Because it might have
Okay, yeah.
started in a particular thing, and so it's like, oh, maybe this seed was just bad, right? Maybe this seed just did
Yeah,
not survive the transition to space. But over time, it's like, oh, this is spread, and now it is in all the crops.
totally. Okay. This then I think is something that I mean, with the amount of time it's taking, everyone is being informed as we learn more. I think I could see it being something where everyone has a way to contribute. But the main tack that we're taking is like, it's more community focused. Like we're not doing something to like, okay, well, we're gonna have in a part of our compost, like our compost facility, we're gonna have our secret beds for growing our own like secret stash. It's definitely being yeah, it's definitely still working for the betterment of the entire community. And so I think there is, though, sort of like part of the reason it takes so long is the first attempt is quarantine. Like, let's uh let's not burn, but like, like consider this field gone. We're gonna have to bring a fallow one into play now, test this out. Okay, maybe it needs different inputs. Like perhaps we're just, under nitrogening it, or like, dang, the phosphate. So
Mhm.
I think to like build the role, it's let me see, where's the numbers? I favor Wait, sorry, where's the dice building part? Bottom? No.
Top bit.
That's
Top
middle
middle.
column.
Oh, I'm scrolled down too far. That's my problem. Thank you. Um, yeah, so we're just like approaching it methodically. And I do think the personality trend motivates it. So that's 2. I think our exosuits absolutely um, give us some support here.
Just out of
Yeah,
curiosity, because we got a question about this earlier in the chat.
we did.
What are you imagining the exosuits for composters are like?
Yeah, Halcyon had that great question and was suggesting that, like, do they go in and, mix up the vats? Do they, like, are they just like a walking compost vat that you can kind of take anywhere you need it? And I think it's more along the lines of, uh, I think there are sort of Um, the little mice droids that run around in the Death Star in Star Wars
Oh
and
yeah,
other
yeah.
Star Wars properties. I think there are some a little bigger than that, but of a similar size and kind of remote control car style. They do just, like get dropped into a composting a composting vat and just kind of set a pattern. Or you know what it is? It's like a pool cleaner, like a pool
Mm.
vacuum. It's got it's got a little hose, not a hose, but it's got like a line for retrieval, and it just kind of, you set its pattern and it goes. But the ones that people end up wearing are more uh, like they've got a lot of different sensors, not just in the hands and arms, but I think also in the feet. And then there's like a really big, what's the word I'm looking for? Like a control panel or like screen for monitoring what the results, like the information
Mhm.
coming in on the arm. Like it fills the entire forearm, like that big of a chunky little panel. I guess I'm picturing like from Futurama. Um,
Uh-huh.
she's got
Yes. Yeah.
that big computer on her arm, or
Yeah. Or sort of like a pit boy.
Fallout.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. I was like,
1000%.
I don't remember the name of it in Fallout, but I know that it's in Fallout. Yeah, that
Yes.
thing too. Yeah, so uh, that's the, I think, main kind of exosuit.
What is that? The Pip Boy?
Mhm.
Yeah, but like
Yeah.
the sensors embedded throughout the suit as well.
Yeah.
That
So you just
fleet
kind
of
of like,
drones is very cool too.
I know, I think they're very cute. I'm picturing a very cute thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, like the sensors, you just instead of having to pull out a kit and like dip the pH strip or like take the soil or take the compost and get some water in there and like, all right, let's dip and see, compare it to this little image. No, we have, like stick your finger in, or like maybe it's your left hand for this thing, your right hand for this thing. Scoop some up and like slap it on this weird little like pocket on the upper arm, and it will chug away on some analysis.
So these
Yeah.
suits really do take some skill and knowledge to use, some expertise to use.
Yes, and a lot of maintenance with all those, not moving parts in terms of most of the sensors, but in terms of your arms and legs are moving when you use them. Your hands are moving. So there's a lot of like, oh, there's a short. I bet the wire, I bet the coating of the wire has rubbed away. Time to, strip it and recoat or something like that.
I think that's where the lads come in. It's ironically not in the building or the moving of fields or anything like that, or like, securing silos or whatever. Literally, your mechs are so precise that when parts start falling past a certain like failure tolerance, you swap them out with like the best of ours. And so you'll often see
Oh,
like lads rolling around with like second tier or like off grade, composter kits like strapped on to do extra functions. Um, and so that way we can rotate you the finest of sensors that we frankly don't need most of the time.
oh,
And
that's
so
great. That's really
I'll
nicely. Mhm.
I'll throw you a die for that one, and I'll mark it down on the thing.
Okay. So then um, I've got my 1d6 base, motivated, expertise, assistance, but then -1. So that's looking like 3 to me. Does it
That
track,
sounds
Jamie?
right to me. Yeah.
Okay. Then remembering how to roll on roll 20. Huh. And I need to be, oh, wait, 2 is my number.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
Pumasi! Right? Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Heck yes. Two
So-
successes, one Pumashi.
So
Yeah, so
if
this
you roll,
solution benefits yourself as well.
if you roll your number exactly, you perform a Pumashi. A roll of Pumashi counts as a success. You achieve a balance between looking after your own clan and the rest of the community. Discuss a collective solution to the problem with other players and GM.
Yeah.
Which I think,
Okay.
yeah, go ahead.
Well, I wanted to also double check. That's 2 successes. So whatever we discuss, we know that it's not as good as 3 successes. We don't get a permanent benefit, but
Mm-hmm.
we're progressing nicely. So yeah, I
Mhm.
mean, this is something where everyone comes together. I feel like we got a good sense of how the lads contribute to the solution. Like, any ideas about what the Green Compact is doing? Like, something actually I was just thinking about, but we didn't discuss, and I don't think the game explicitly says. Are there other factions? Like, is there, or is it just our 3 that have woken up because we're in a 3-player game?
Hmm.
I was sort of imagining it was the 3 clans here. Everybody else is asleep. But I'm open to alternatives.
My heart having been if my like context for this when we were talking about it going into this game was Alpha Centauri, and the like faction style there. There's one bit that I always loved, which is when diplomacy goes bad, one of the strongest disses you can get is your faction is no longer significant. Um, and so I definitely have envisioned this as like there are other specialists putzing about where they got woken up from cryo, but we're sort of like the predominant cultures of the ship. And so there is this sort of thing where it's like when you are going to an event, it's probably either a mulch event or it's a green event or it's a lad event, you know?
Mm.
And so I think there's a difference between like, you know, people and societies. And I think we're the societies that are that are to our chagrin awake during this, because there are other societies that might come out of cryo exactly the way they went in, and we're going to be changed by this experience. All that tangent to say, I'm comfy with a collective solution that is led by the Mulch Collective, and I think the tranquil approach to a pest problem is probably a really interesting one. So I'll yield the narrative back.
No, yeah, I think it's, again, this is the first problem that we set, which is on that bigger time scale. And I think the images that we see, in addition to that really nice one of the like the gear swaps and like people just working with people from the building clan having subpar not subpar but like under repair stuff from the Mulch Collective, and their better parts going to the Mulch Collective. I think another thing that we are seeing is a lot of like the older like engineers, scientists, like technicians, and apprentices. We're seeing a lot of that actual handing down of information throughout the decades that it takes to figure it out and get the crops back on track, like figure out what exactly the pest was. I think you said a bug. So like figuring out what it came from, what it needs, the best ways to I don't know, like companion grow two crops so that they don't like we don't have to use as much chemicals,
That's
but also
beautiful. Yeah.
honestly, but also using some of those chemical feedstocks we have to like to generate some really good targeted pesticides when needed. Yeah.
Yeah, the vision of the Greens comes into play. Like from the very start, like the Greens anticipated that we would need this.
Yep.
Totally.
Yeah. I love the idea that the elders are the sort of nexus by which we're sharing information across Pumasi, right?
Oh yeah.
Like when you're young, you're all about specializing, and when you're getting older, you're starting to like learn to love the the coming together, and your peers, as your peers unfortunately start to die off, like the peers that become available are the peers in the other Pumasi.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I
and
love
I
that a lot.
mean as well, you could probably imagine like some of the elders of all the clans at this point, given where we said like 30-40 years in, are probably like moving into like the end cats where the gravity is more stable, and all more polylite more together.
Ah. Yeah.
Totally. It's easier on the joints.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Kai, I think was your approach was collective focused?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So your number doesn't change at all, no? You and I are at the far
Yeah.
end of the spectrum.
So if we
We're all
go
at the
against
far
our
end of the
number,
spectrum.
yeah.
If you tried to benefit other, yeah, because I can't go any lower than 2.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. This is
how we're
fun.
not
Next
playing
round.
Honey Heist.
No.
But how? But
next round we get. Mhm.
But how does this specifically benefit the multi collective? Because it benefits you as well because you are the Pumasi.
Oh, true.
Oh, I see. You're right. That sentence. You achieve a balance between looking after your own clan. Hmm. Okay. So one of the things that is in our clan goal, right, in that first column of the game document is preserve your clan legacy and traditions until you reach your destination. So
Mhm.
something I was thinking about is what are any of these traditions? And so I think one of them is related to the exosuits and the the special care and maintenance of them, but also I think a certain kind of decoration. Um, so uh, when I think it's not they're not so precisely sized that this is one person's suit, and then not until they retire do we try to squeeze someone into it or try to tailor it a little bit, no, alter it a little bit to fit its new user. I think they are kind of okay, today I'm on shift, I can choose between big one number 1 and big one number 3, and suit number 2 is smaller, so that doesn't work for me. But you can still when you have some time, when you're doing repairs, you sit with, you sit with your people at the end of the day or during a downtime, and work on repairs. And then also I think it's probably with what is the word I'm looking for? Natural dyes. People
Mhm. Yeah.
would use that to sort of paint on the parts which are softer and more of a fabric, and could take some of those dyes. But I think there are also other parts of it which just get paint. Like the plastic can take paint pretty well, and if it flakes off, that's great, you have an opportunity to redo it. So the way that I think this specifically this specific action, this solution, brings some of that uh, like building of our tradition or reinforcing of our tradition, is that it spreads a little bit. Probably more specifically toward the lads, but it could be everywhere. Like some of those components that they took onto their own exosuits, they were like, oh, this is a fun pattern. And so a specific pattern called oh, I don't know, phosphate chain. I said phosphate already, but some pattern that is inspired by the way uh,
Mhm.
that compound would be diagrammed out. That spreads to some of the other people in
Totally.
other clans.
Yeah, makes it easier for you to maintain that practice because the tools that you use to do it aren't like specialized anymore. Everybody gets a vested interest in doing it, and they know that like if you want the really good gunpla people, like the Mulch Collective sits down at like 3 p.m. every day, and they're the ones who like pipe that pigment perfectly into the channel. And so,
Yeah.
you can try to do it on your own, but if you have like a really fine line you need to do, you go to one of the mulch meetups and they will just like do it with like this perfectly even hand.
Yeah. It's nice.
Hell yeah.
Okay, what's the next problem?
Yeah, and what time frame are we on? Is the next challenge going to be one of a truly or Greenland? Is the next challenge going to be one of a year, a decade, or a generation? I think, given that we were talking about being halfway through our journey and that this challenge took us to that point, maybe we think about a year or a decade, a particularly like strenuous one.
Yeah.
I do like that, but I was just thinking probably overall, like in real time, we've got what, an hour 45 left? Am I doing that math right?
Oh,
So do
true.
we
If we want to get to the
well no, because what I'm thinking is if we have enough time for one more round, it might be kind of cool to do this in reverse. Big, like generation, then decade, and then in the final moments, like one
yes,
last like rush. Instead,
snake draft.
although I think it, yes, because I think it could be really cool to like really focus back in on the small things. But if we think
Yes.
that we could like kind
Okay.
of go through, oh dang, I did it again. Earlier, I generated someone generated a like a Linkin Park lyric run in the chat, and now I've just done
So
Blink
good stuff.
182. But you know what? I can only be from the time that I'm from. But yeah, like do we think it's possible that we could do more than one more round of us three, or do we think that we should like settle in for what this being, one more green compact challenge, one more mulch collective, one more for the lads?
Yeah, I think I think we could do that. Hmm.
I also
'Cause
don't
I'm
think it
also
has to be a perfect round of three. Like if we think actually probably 4 challenges or 5 will fit better in that time, I think that's also good too. I just
Yeah, totally.
yeah.
I think another generational challenge is cool because it puts us if we thought of the first two um as, the first 10 years, and then each generation is sort of like 20 years, right? Because it's that generation coming to like adulthood and fruition. Then I think another generation puts us much closer to the end, but doesn't like drop us right there.
That's true. And then we can reassess as
yeah,
well.
yeah.
Great point.
yeah, I guess I wanna leave room for us to be able to narrate like the end, right?
Totally.
I don't want to just leave that to myself, right?
Yeah.
Groovy.
Yeah. But yeah,
Some time has passed. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm just saying. So yeah, what are we going? What goes wrong in this next stretch of?
Yeah. So I think some time has passed, and I think some exosuits have gone missing.
Hmm.
And it is not clear if they were stolen or misplaced, and maybe at some point, like at some point it was like assumed that maybe somebody lost these exosuits and then just like blamed somebody else, accusing them of stealing them, right, to try and cover your own ass type thing.
Ooh. Yeah.
But yeah, there are some exosuits missing.
Who is the challenge being directed toward?
I believe this would be for the Green Compact. Am I remembering that correctly?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. So. Is it just the green compact suits which are going missing, or is it everyone's suits?
I think the majority of them were Green Compact suits. Maybe one or two from one of the other clans, but primarily it was Green Compact suits.
Okay, so I think what we're going to try to do to locate what's happened here, we're going to kind of like monitor the quote unquote seismic activity on each of like the landscape blades. Let's just see, where there's activity that we can't account for, and heading out there to try and find out what's happening, and trying to locate and reclaim the suits.
Yeah. Okay. I don't feel like you have to make a strong argument for motivated here.
I don't think there's anything that Tranquil maybe is the one that might not be motivated, but I don't think any of the other. But yeah.
Yeah, and so what about what is the adjective? Expertise.
I think because it's mostly green compact suits, we know because they are like heavy duty earth moving equipment and tree planters and things. They're fairly substantial machines because they're built for like literally moving mountains. That they are easy to detect that way. It's not so much. It's an expertise of what they're doing. It's because of what they are. It's easier to track them than it would be if they were compost collective suits, because they're more delicate and built for detecting and processing things rather than shifting huge amounts of material.
Totally. It's like if they were stolen, the signs that somebody stole them would be more obvious because a mountain would be where it shouldn't be. Whereas if either of our suits were stolen, more like fine-grained work could have been done that would maybe like fly under the radar. So is your argument that like the expertise that you're applying is that you have an idea of like what the effects of your suit would be, and you're looking at like the knock-on effects?
Yeah, exactly. It's
beans.
that level of knowing what they are, and just the fact that they are designs are that bit more obvious than they would be if they were other clansmate exosuits.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's down to 2 dice because I did help.
Right, you had -1 from
before.
assisting. Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Is there any help from anyone else trying?
I think I think the builders at this point, like 50, 60 years in, whether we're going to help is, I think, dependent upon whether your solution is designed to benefit the compact or designed to benefit the collective.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's a fear among the lads that I think there's a fear among the lads that we're sort of getting lost in the shuffle. Like the younger generation is like, oh, where's our thing? And would only necessarily listen to a pitch that was collectively oriented and is not necessarily going to be like as eager to help. It is going to be not necessarily as eager to help if it's a green compact oriented solution. But that shouldn't change what you do. It's just that'll tip.
I don't think there's any way this can be a collectively focused one, just because it is us trying to reclaim our mechs primarily here.
Yeah. So I think if any feelers go out to the lads, the sort of call that you get back, there's a lot of like clanging in the background, and they're just like, well, we all lost suits, and they lost like 2 suits, and you lost like 10 monolith size suits, and it's clearly you're being left on red a teeny bit.
Yeah. Which, is funny because, yes, you're saying that, oh, yes, we're being, hyper individualistic and looking after ourselves. But we helped you, and then you're not helping us back. Which is an interesting look at things.
Totally. It's like the 30-something who's in charge is just sort of like, I don't even remember that. Like you're talking about ancient history at this point. Yeah, 1,000%. Yeah. Form letter goes back to you.
Except from the fact that the hill in the background of the office is the one that we built when we were moving the dirt to help you rebalance the spin.
Yeah, it's called Stability Hill, Solidarity Hill.
Are the Multi Collective going to throw in here, or?
I don't think so. I think it's not quite as nothing as thoughts and prayers, like sucks to be you, but it is kind of like, que sera, like Shikata like, it is what it is. And it really is a bummer for you, but we're so busy over here.
Okay, so we're just rolling the 2 dice. That is a success and a Pumasi.
Oh,
Hey.
So, what do we find when we find our suits?
I think you find them in better condition than when they were missing, like
Mhm.
than
Ooh, that's
before.
fun.
Like, I think it's what it turns out to be is that a group of young people was trying to do something nice for their elders and was like retrofitting these suits to perform better, right? But they could never like get their hands on these suits through proper channels, and so they kind of did a rogue action here and took these suits to retrofit them and make them better than they were before.
Yeah, so I think what we're gonna do here, it's gonna, because it does, it benefits us mostly, but also
Mm-hmm.
the community. I think we're going to these young people doing this, from all presumably they're from like all 3 clans. That seems to be the vibe that's going here. They're just going to take them in as like a specific like new subclan for the next. And this is why this is taking.
That's
This
good.
is why this is taking the generation, because this is creating like a whole this generation, and then the next one. This is like a whole like a whole fourth clan, which is thankful to the Green Compact, and does follow their like pop. If we're just going with it's not entirely that, and but probably like enthusiastic like repairers or tinkerers or what have you.
Mm-hmm.
But they do share, because of especially when it comes into like second generation of them, they're definitely like sharing the Green Compact's religion and ideology.
So it's the opposite of what happens with the Mulch Collective, where the Mulch Collective like makes themselves more secure by universalizing their practices, and the Green Compact makes themselves more secure by monopolizing their practices and sharing them out tactically.
and just create like that extra strand of things where it's not just, oh yes, this is a landscape, an ideology of landscapers. This is expanding, so there's more strands to the philosophy now than just what it was. So it is still there with
Mm-hmm.
you know and it and that does mean like the advances they are sharing to your machines are more like naturalistic in design, the way like a lot of the Green Compact mechs do tend to be.
Yeah, you're sort of like spreading the
basically
culture passively.
The overall, I haven't had much chance to really express this up, but the overall thing I'm thinking with the Green Compact is it's kind of like an like a not quite like a primitivist science thing, but an elven sort of philosophy, that sort of that sort of having the landscape be and nature be key to everything, and moving things in that way, and then making the landscape so that it's the people and the and nature benefits the most from it all.
You know what visual this like brings to mind?
Mm-hmm.
You know how sometimes you just because you keep mentioning that like you're moving mountains, you know that visual where the camera's on like a mountain and then it starts to move and you realize that it's been like a hill giant that like moss has grown over. Or like the ants. There's something. Yeah,
I think that's now we've got this Tinkerer collective and there.
Mhm.
I think that's more how the Green Compacts mech specifically. Because I think, given how I've described them, they're definitely more mechs than exosuits. Given the scale we're talking about,
It's very exo.
They are looking a lot more, and as well, just the whole. It's not just elf-like in terms of the philosophy. There's also sort of like the elven, like the fantasy aesthetics to things. So making them look like, making the mechs look like hill giants is definitely a part of that.
Which is so funny because the whole problem was that you couldn't find the mechs, and maybe they were just hiding in plain sight.
Yeah.
The camouflage was too good.
I do think it's more the improvements were one thing, but then as this generation goes forward on the what's a good name for these Tinkerers?
I want to pitch the endo suits.
Yeah.
Don't be wedded to it. It's just the first thing that came to mind.
Yeah.
Like as a completely new faction of their own.
Yeah, like a sub faction, basically. No, not going to be taking a turn or doing any like direct helping, really. But yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, let's just, I think, probably move on, and if anyone in the the chat has any ideas, then donate.
Ooh, good call. Fun. Yes. Yeah, name this like it's like almost like an artistic movement,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's definitely as much that as it is, the actual, technical side. I think it becomes that. It started purely as the technical side, but as they got brought into the Green Collective, as they got welcomed in.
I want to say like grease monkeys, but grass monkeys, but I think that just it doesn't. It's funnier to think about than it is to actually implement. So I won't even type it down.
But yeah. Let's just move on. If anyone in the chat wants to name them, then send donations in.
Yes. Well, I think if we're continuing our snake draft timeline, I think that puts this next crisis at a decade level crisis.
Mm-hmm.
Some time passes. And I think there is a group of people who want to leave. They want to leave the ship. They don't want to continue on the journey. They want to take like a pod or a shuttle of some sort, and some supplies, and they want to land on the nearest celestial body that could potentially sustain them. Consequences be damned.
Ooh. How do we find out? How does this group make their concerns known?
I think at first it just starts with friction in like decision making. There's a lot of discord. And it builds to a point where you have like distinct actors and groups of people who are sort of like doing things on their own or undermining the efforts of others in the clan and the community. How much they are undermining the clan versus the community, I'll let you decide. But yeah, so it's and it's kind of like this boiling, like a building problem that by the time that you start to solve it, this has been like people have years of grievances built up, right?
Totally. Yeah, I think the boldness of the builders is a sort of perpetual thorn to ourselves, because there's a desire to sort of, bullishly go past the concerns of the young folk that want to take vessels and go settle, that want to go settle the nearest habitable exoplanet, or moon that we could reasonably get to within their lifetime. And I think the pitch that is made becomes one of it's very self-interested, and specifically we set up a wing of the arc ship that we've sort of historically reserved for excess builder equipment and training, and instead we set it up as a district. And the pitch that we make is essentially it's a capture tactic. We're trying to do sort of what the Green Compact did, but less naturally and less, communally oriented. Instead, what we're trying to do is to get everybody to set up shop there. We're like, why are you going to take 5 to 10 years to land on a planet where you got to build everything from scratch? You could start building right here, right now. Like, this could be your future. Like, you don't have to spend your teens and 20s, scrabbling for water on a hunk of ice flying around a gas giant. We can make the life here, and when we land on New Earth, we can just drop that district right in place as a base. Like, this is the cultural argument. I think the challenge is that this is like a really hard pitch to get the other clans to chip in on. And so the way that we phrase it is as a professionalization tool. Like, this was the district that we set aside for like scrap, excess, and training. And so this is essentially us saying, let's formalize our training process. And the fact that it would coincidentally vastly increase the roles of the builders is a thing that we sort of like elide or gloss over when we're talking about it. So I don't know how strong of a pitch it is to the others, but it does manage to leverage our boldness to its best ability, and it manages to leverage our expertise to its best ability. Because this is the sort of work that's like only possible because we've hyper specialized those builder suits over the past like 65 to 70 years. And so this is the success or failure of our response to this crisis is it'll take 10 years to see how it shakes out, but that's our initial pitch. Is there any supportive interest from either the Mulch Collective or the Green Compact?
No, because I don't see how it would work. And also, as a player, I would love to see us either. I want to see a failure, honestly, and I'm happy if it happens to me. But I would also love to see it happen sooner, so we get another interesting drawback. And I think I really like the way that you've spun it, and I think it's a pretty cool solution. But it doesn't. It is really hard to see the Mulch Collective being like,
Yes.
yeah, great.
It's a rough pitch for sure.
It's a fun, distinction between the three clans here. That doesn't quite even go down like the clan community style things of like, the Mulch Collective are here doing like a cultural colonization thing with their designs. The Green Compact are going like with an integrationist side of things, and then you're going like an internal colonization sort of stuff.
Yeah, I think my thinking is it's what if oh god, this is grim. I feel like so much of my life has been spent learning more than I wanted to learn about Salesforce, and then watching everybody try and fail to escape the walled garden that is Salesforce. And so I think there's a part of me that's like, the builders are addicted to their tools. But I think there's a difference between the tool and the intent of the tool, and they focus so much on the tooling and so little on the net effects of the tooling. Like the builders worked at the start because they were making stuff that everybody needed in order to survive and like hold down life in the unstable gravity. And now the thing that they're building is like wholly self-involved, and so they're trying to like gain something, they're losing something essential about themselves, even if they win here. So I take it we're going this alone.
Yes.
All right. Well, then this would be 3d6, except for the fact that we did help. So this is 2d6, and I am trying to roll under or exactly 2, which is our score, because I want that clan victory.
I'm sending you high number vibes.
Thank you. I tried to roll. Did that not work? Oh, give me 2 seconds. All right. R 2d6. Yeah, it's not working.
I had it with /roll space.
Oh, it's
2D.
slash. I was doing an exclamation mark.
My
gosh.
2 Discord brain.
No. I mean,
that's only one success.
I do love it.
But this is the thing. This is one success which benefits both sides.
Yes. Yeah.
One narrowly avoid.
That's so funny. Yeah, we cannot escape. We are playing Pumasi. We cannot escape the Pumasi. The Pumasi inside the machine. So let me get at this. It counts as a success. You achieve a balance between looking after your own clan and the rest of the community. Discuss a collective solution with the other players and GM. This was only one success, though, so we narrowly avoid disaster. But the next complication has an added problem.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Ever so fun. My
I do
pitch
have an
for
idea. Oh,
yes,
no, you
Jimmy,
go
what you got?
first. W-
No.
Well, okay. So, what the thing I was thinking that was like not really, I think, supported by like the game was like, well, we'll help, but like you got to take some of our like
Mm,
troublemakers,
mhm.
and like maybe they're better suited to, you know, maybe they're better suited to building,
Yeah,
and like kind
yeah.
of setting up a sort of like, uh, or like, okay, if you're going to use up that space, we want a third of it, or we want a portion of it for like
Sure, yes. Yeah.
our own, like it needs to replicate the ship as a whole, not just your section. So yeah, that's what I think could, like nobody's super happy about it. Like that's the narrowly avoiding it, but it does
Yes.
kind of, honestly, it does set us up well for the planet, like dropping
Hmm.
a fully formed, um, mini town with at least something from our three factions. Um,
This is the
Yeah,
thing.
that's
yeah.
what I'm
It's
thinking.
I think this here with say, oh yes, we need to have representations for from every faction here. That then ends up being both green comp the way things get done. There's ends up being like equal weight being put on both the green compact and have we had a name for them yet from the donations? Doesn't look like it. Let's just go with and the meatheads.
The
They end up being
meathead.
Yeah.
so the the green compact ideology philosophy really just has a bit of a plurality in that section now.
Yeah. I think that plays. I think the builders the narrow disaster is actually less about the young people who wanted to leave, and it's more
Hmm.
about like the cultural divide between the lads, between younger lads and older lads.
Hmm.
Um in a sort of like uh you know, the kids are all about um doing the thing.
Hmm.
And uh the elders are all about um the the need, right? Are all
Hmm.
about, we're not the builders because we like to build, we're the builders because people asked us to build, right?
Yeah.
Um our mechs weren't even kitted out for this. We
Hmm.
retrofit them to become the builders as like a
Yeah.
response to
Yeah.
like community demand. Um, and so weirdly, the young people that were like disaffected by this idea of like, build for others as opposed to build for yourself, um, they're proven wrong. And it turns out that like the only way that the plan succeeds is that this gives the like disaffected group of like unaffiliated people who were like looking to leave, it gives them a political stake in the reality of all three clans because they're the new founders of like, yeah, mini Nabi. And so they're paradoxically like in the young people trying to take over lad culture, they sort of reaffirm the tenets of lad culture, um, and like lock back into some of the older ways. And so I think if that's a decade project, then what we see as we reach like 75-ish years or 70 years into the journey is just you know, a little bit of simulated sunlight dappling, the tiny towers of mini Nabi, the first quasi city of the Nabi arc generational ship.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
And Gritty was there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Some time passes. And I think there is an impact on the hull of the ship that damages the compromises the hull integrity, and there is a loss of resources like oxygen, maybe some water fresh water evaporates,
Oof,
maybe
yeah.
some crops are destroyed in the process, and yeah. So I am curious about how the Mulch Collective approaches this problem.
So something has reached the hull and we've lost resources because of it. So pretty much everyone's endangered
Yeah.
by this.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is
And
definitely something that
one of the things I've the thing with O'Neill cylinders is they are actually, in terms of atmospheric integrity from hull punctures, or especially window punctures, because of just the sheer mass of the atmosphere, they're actually fairly resistant to losing, completely depressurizing due to a hull puncture, more so than other space stations designs. But
yeah.
still going to lose stuff, and if that's gone in a part where it's not, it's bad, but it's not, catastrophically bad that the entire ship's going to depressurize.
Totally. Yeah. And are we back down to a year, or is this another decade or so? Because I think we said 75.
Yeah, this is a year-long crisis. I don't feel like I mean, unless
It's not
somebody
quite the
feels
end.
strongly, that it needs to neatly map to, the 90-year mark. I think we can. I think we can just have this be a year-long crisis, and then do a time jump to the end as we narrate the ending.
I mean, we've got an hour left, so
Yeah,
That's true. We could do one more, even if we want to. Yeah, this one is tough because this is not at all in our, this does not play to any of our strengths in the slightest. This is absolutely we have to reach out, especially to the builders on this. Though I think the green compact is going to have a lot to contribute as well. But unfortunately, I was really hoping to think of a selfish solution. I wanted to try to change things up, and I can't think of one.
to you. Let me make the pitch to you. So I would argue that this could be very much a clan focused thing, like very selfish oriented, because crops were destroyed. And this is the mulch collective does is responsible for the renewability of a lot of the resources that the ship depends on. And so, like, if you wanted to make this sort of like a very clan focused solution, right, or aiming that direction, right, this could be about, nobody else is going to step up to do this, so we're going to solve this our way, and we're going to focus on, we're going to institute new policies and procedures for
Like going like austerity
recycling.
time.
Yeah, we're going to institute some new policies and to make sure that we have enough resources to make it to New Earth based on
Yeah.
our expertise and as the people who are responsible
Ooh.
for reclaiming all of these resources and
Yeah.
making them reusable.
Control grab could give you like culinary control of the ship functionally.
Sorry, culinary?
Yeah, right. Because you're choosing what we grow, and like if
Oh,
we
I see.
have,
Mm.
yeah.
That's true. Yeah. Okay. That's a great pitch. I totally, because I was thinking like, oh, repairing the breach, but like, no, that can happen as a side effect. You're right. The way that I'm like approaching the bigger problem of, what do we do with this big crop die off? Yeah. Okay. So I think it is very much like, okay, well, it's time to it's time to have the year of like minimal fresh food and a lot of like getting into the freeze dried, the MREs, the all of the packaged like protein meals. Like that's all they are. Um, like we're putting a lot into getting things back up because we're not there yet. But this year nobody eats well. Um, like everyone eats enough, but nobody is happy about what it is. Um, yeah. Okay. So in that case, it'll be 1d6 base. I don't think that like the way I've described it, the expertise or the motivation comes in because we're like, again, it's that sort of response that was given to the green compact of like, it is what it is, you know? Like if we gotta
Yeah, your tranquility plays in.
Yeah, so I do think the tranquility is a motivating factor, but our expertise is not actually at play because even though we are dedicating a lot of time to solving the problem, like that's not the approach that's being taken to the crowd or to the community as a whole. So that is just two. Is anyone interested in helping? Like, is anyone not put off by this? Again, remember, I'm seeking failure. Like, I am very happy to fail here.
Yeah. Don't think so. Not in this instance.
So I think this is the conversation that plays out is probably something like this. Person from the Mulch Collective shows up and says, we can fix, like, we're gonna take a point on fixing this. And chief, like first and foremost, we're going to change the meal structure across the whole ship. Um, and the perspective of the builders are flabbergasted because they thought you were coming with a pitch about fixing the holes in the ship. And like the entire time that the Mulch Collective is talking, and they're like, well, actually, the holes in the ship are not like that substantial of a problem. We can fix them iteratively over the course of this year. In the meantime, the substantially larger problem is that like people's lives are going to be impacted. And so we got to be like making and storing food. And the foods that will store better are those ones that like match this and this and this. And you're talking to like mechanics. And the mechanics are like, wait, so the solution to this isn't like, why are we even? And you like you end at the end, and I think the builders are like too brash to not give you the feeling like it was a useful meeting. Like as you're leaving, you just like, yeah. And you notice that like the messages that you send about fixing the holes in the ship get very promptly answered, and the messages that you send about changing the menu get very, very slow rolled.
Yeah. Okay, I like
So
that.
you don't get the dice from the builders. They're not actively opposing you, which is not a mechanic in this game, but they're for sure not like being the most helpful that they could be, which is very funny after they were just like, we're going to make a move to be more helpful. And then here's where you see, oh, they meant helpful on our own terms.
Yeah. Okay, excellent.
Yeah. And I think for the Green Compact, I think it's more that they have their own specific, dietary, codes, which they're kind of slightly resenting you trying to impose on us.
Mhm. Yeah, absolutely.
What, you mean the meatheads didn't want to eat MRE? The meatheads didn't enjoy everything being pickled?
But the thing is, MREs are for jarheads, not meatheads. So
Yes, yes.
okay, all right. Then
Terrible.
I will roll. Yes, I will roll just my 2, and because okay, so this is the only way this can succeed is with the Pumasi, because it's clan motivated. I need to roll under 2, and that's not possible. Great. Okay, very good. Please, I do not want a Pumasi. Thank God. No.
Wait, no,
There's a
you
1.
did.
I did. You know what? In my head, I was thinking, oh, my total, which doesn't make any sense.
Yeah,
God.
like
Yeah, that is a 2.
initially.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
2 successes.
No. No. Just 1.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But it is still a success, which I'm so annoyed about.
But you get a complication, so rejoice,
I do get a
revel in your complication.
I will. Part of the complication, and I'm happy to hear additional elements of it. Part of the complication is just like this food is sufficient, like it's doing what it needs to, but like it's definitely leaving people not like not underfed or anything, but just like there's a sort of missing element, like a missing joy, I guess. Like a oh, I didn't realize how important it was that I, could eat a salad until I was only eating, my my like my Soylent or whatever. And so it's just kind of like a general not dourness exactly. Maybe it is dour. Maybe that is the word. But there's just much more like, okay, it's business time. Okay, business is done. All right. Okay, I guess.
Yeah.
And it's really become a little bit more of that like checking, like like a tick on the prison wall, or like striking a day off your calendar of like, okay, 10 years left, that's all, or something.
Yeah.
Something similar.
Yeah, the generation that has this as their like teens into 20s are going to be insufferable for the rest of the time, because they're going to be like, do you remember those 3 years where like everything we ate came out of a can, you know?
Yeah.
And it'll, they'll be talking to, their kids, and they'll be like, you don't understand how good you have it.
Yeah. But it does mean that, the resources that went up to setting it up, Minnie and Abby, are now removed, because that was only a temporary drawback.
That is true.
So
Truly.
Oh!
Yeah, drives through the McDonald's drive-through and gets 1 black coffee generation for sure. Yes.
Yeah, so the reduced space resources is removed because it was only wasn't a full failure, so it's not a permanent drawback.
Yeah. And I think crucially, also, uneventfully, the Mulch Collective does fix the hole in the ship.
Yeah. And that, I think, like you were mentioning, that is done in collaboration, because, things have to be on a ship of this size. But it's it's kind of lost in the aggressive, like the way that it was executed, of like, okay, this is how to fix the problem.
Yeah. All parties start to.
Yeah, we're not taking input. Thank you.
All parties start to see the limits in their relationships, for sure. Yeah. I think the lads think that the Green Compact, in a sort of like post-Meatheads world, are a little particular, and think that the Mulch are a little too laissez-faire. Or not laissez-faire, flazé-da, Like, they're like, where's the fire? And they don't see the ambition of the Green Compact, nor the like merit of the Mulch Collective, because they're too busy making a tiny city on a spaceship.
Yeah. Yeah. Right now, the Green Collective, see the lads as just fundamentally not understanding the whole point of the situation, and they don't see and the Mulch Collective as just unsuited to be making decisions at this point.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. All right. How are we feeling here? Because I feel like we might be able to do 1 or 2 more. And then do like a conclusion.
Yeah, that sounds right.
I would love it if we could, just to pitch it, I would love it if we could do 1 more like decade challenge, and then 1 challenge that was specifically about like landing,
Yeah.
However we want to like flavor that. Or that, rather, let me rephrase that. That's what I would be interested in.
Yeah, definitely. And look at your turn order. It makes sense for like it to be a Green Compact challenge, the last decade of the travel, and then for the builders, to be dealing with the landing. If we're looking at how the turn order's been going.
Yeah, what a nightmare that'll be.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay.
So the reduced space and resources is gone because it was only a temporary one.
That is true.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because that was a complication,
It wasn't
not
a-
a
wasn't a-
deficit.
Yeah, it's not a
Oh,
full
okay.
failure, so it's not a permanent drawback. And likewise, the we have McDonald's at home generation is only going to really affect the next challenge, not anything else.
Okay. All right. I think some time passes, and a respected elder. I don't know if they're like officially a leader or if they are or if they just are the person who exercises a lot of soft power by being someone who is so well respected that everybody just sort of like, if this person thinks it's a good idea, then whatever leadership structure exists in the Green Compact, like they're going to follow what this person suggests, right? This person dies suddenly. And like, if you want to flavor the specifics of that, that's fine. But like just an unexpected death, you know? I think there is that leaves a massive power vacuum, and maybe some leadership who are very ineffectual leaders. Like, but they looked good on paper because they just did whatever the elders said to do, right?
Mm-hmm.
Kind of coasting on somebody else's coattails.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So, what I am thinking here is, let's think. I think this is there is a bit of a double shift with things. There's the ineffective leadership who were what generally happens in a society when you have a long-lived leader who was central to so many things passing away. There's that big gap in the knowledge and everything. And then I think that's then the fact that the leadership then is more used to just doing what the previous charismatic leader was suggesting. They start listening to like younger person who is a bit more radical with things, and they kind of see it's pushing the general ideology of things a little bit further, and using the fact that it would have been better if our last leader, compact holder, if they just survived, live that a little bit longer, and start using the the chemicals and stuff they've been working on for the last few generations now, and start pushing further into it and making more advances into making more like life extension medicine that they're going to distribute across the station, across the ship.
So you become a pharmaceutical company?
Yeah, it's more just giving everyone extended life and being more elvish.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Totally.
that's the
it's
ideological background in it. Yeah.
Yeah, instead of
Oh,
being like,
wow.
oh, we're going to build redundancy, they're like, no, we will make it so that our people that we would need to be redundant are instead immortal.
Yeah. No, not
Yeah.
quite immortal, but it's longer lived, and that is
Mhm.
because that is it is more it is more using the loss of the leader there
Mhm.
to as an excuse to push this extension of the core green compact ideology forward.
Totally. Yeah. And you like produce like an exceptionalist narrative. You're like, there is a you're like you're leveraging this faction within the Greens is leveraging it to to change your like investment
Yeah.
from being like just quote unquote landscapers to being
Mhm.
like I guess being shapers more broadly of like
it's
conditions of
not
life.
not just the landscape of the terrain is the landscape of society they are shaping.
Oh, that's good. Tragic.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And so I think with that, and with the fact that we set up the chemical feedstock for exactly this purpose, generations ago. It's both definitely ambitious, and you could with the whole landscaping the society of the station. But I mean that's kind of what they've been doing with the landscaping side of it to begin with. The expertise can kind of apply too, potentially. And if that's not too much of a stretch, Jamie.
I say go with it. Not to sound too non-committal, but I'm just curious to see how this all plays out. So I say roll for it and let's see what happens here.
Yeah. And are the lads or the Mulch Collective going to be helping out here? It would give the Mulch Collective a longer time frame to look into things.
Yeah, that's true. So it's not restricted to
No, we're not restricted. Like I said, it's not. Like I said, that it's part of this more radical strain of the ideology is making everyone be more elf-like and living longer. That's
Oh,
part of
fun.
this. That's part of the fundamental part of what they're wanting to do here.
Yeah.
It's obviously going to be because it's literally the core of their ideology. So it is
let everyone take the long
for
view
everyone.
because
Yeah,
they have no choice.
yeah,
Yeah, sure.
cool.
Yes. I think
So
that's the exact reason it doesn't appeal to the builders.
uh
I think like specifically I think the lads, generationally before there was that whole fight over, um, over what is the reason why we do the thing.
Hmm.
And I think uh, the response to that is one of need. And I think the lads uh, are in that similar place of like, you're not like make redundancy by making redundancy. You know what I mean? Like
Hmm.
it's the worst possible reason to say no because
Hmm.
it's such a cool incentive. Um, it's such a cool incentive and it's such a cool reason, especially when we're like about to land on a planet where there's a
Hmm.
million things that could cut life short. And it would be really helpful to have more people around.
Uh-huh.
But the lads are like, one guy died. You know what I
Uh-huh.
mean? Like
Yeah.
that's just a person, you know? like,
Hmm.
like people die all the time, and you're
And
like,
I
well,
mean,
that's the problem. You're like, that's the problem, and we're like, no, that's the thing.
yeah, and I'm thinking about if you look at the overall timescale, if they've been
Yes.
leading the Green Compact for a while here. We
Yeah,
did say,
yeah.
oh yes, it could have been one of the OG meatheads, but as well, it
It
could have
didn't
been
have
like
to be too.
one.
Yeah.
It could have been like in terms of when they were born, could have been
Hmm.
like one of the first people born after we all got woken
Yeah.
up.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my God, baby Alpha. Um.
Hmm.
Yeah.
That's great.
I, yeah, I think the lads don't give you the nod. I think the lads just sort of say, um, I think honestly, what happens is that they get you a drink, then they all start drinking, and then the music starts playing, and they have a wake for your old leader,
Hmm.
and I think they're very sort of jocularly. There's sort of Bad Bunny at the style. There's there's like kids asleep on the chairs in the corner. By the end of it, it's like a 12-hour wake, and the Green Compact liaison leaves, and they're just like patting them on the shoulder, being like, "You need to learn how to process loss."
And the general thought is, well, we if we won't.
Counterpoint.
And so yeah, 4 dice. Let's go. Yeah, so that is 4 successes and a Pumasi.
Goodness gracious.
Wow. Wait, because this is yes, because you did try to benefit others in the community? Oh, no, because the
No, because
solution benefits your clan. Yeah.
yes, because it is specifically pushing their ideology forward here.
Mhm. Oh my god.
Yeah, it benefits people, but it benefits people to look from a Green Compact perspective. And yeah.
So you give
So-
everyone elf gifts?
Yeah. And yeah, so yeah, I think and I think this does actually end up going well with given it got the premises, so it is helping everyone as well. It was planned to be distributed out there, but it also helps solidify your respective traditional cultures as well, because people take this living longer, so it's going to help perpetuate our cultures entire more by themselves.
Okay. Wild. This
That
is
is
interesting because
Mhm.
well, I was gonna say at the beginning, we were talking a bit about how it was hard to think of like what media we're supposed to draw on. And then earlier I did realize, like, oh wait, I did read a Kim Stanley Robinson book about a big like colony ship. I
Mm.
think it's called Aurora. It was not very. I didn't like it. I generally enjoy his writing, but like that one just didn't do it for me. But
Yeah.
then when we're talking about this long lived thing, I'm like, wait a second, this is red Mars, green Mars, blue Mars here. It's
Yep.
perfect. I love it.
Totally.
So
I
yes, this is
am
gravity.
I am looking at them right now. They've got the three of them on my bookshelf right opposite me.
I do love them. I've been meaning to
I need
read
to.
them,
I
but
need to.
this might prompt it.
Yeah, I might end up rereading it myself. You know.
Let's do it.
Given.
But yeah. Yeah, I
No,
would love at some point to see if people have got like other suggestions of like stuff that fits this, but
yeah,
Mhm.
the one that I read and that I keep meaning to get back to is I think it's Marina Lostatter. It's Nomenon. Um,
okay.
it's more recent. And I think it's like Noumenon. Yeah. I think I read. I'm pretty sure I read the Kim Stanley Robinson, the Red Mars, Green Mars, One Mars,
Mhm.
Two Mars.
Uh-huh.
I'm fairly sure I read them, but like too long ago, so I will rejoin for the book club as well.
We've also got Lofty in the chat.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, that's my current touch point. Aside from Alpha Centauri, where the arc ship blows up and all the pods
Mhm.
go everywhere.
Well, hopefully that doesn't happen because
Woohoo.
Yeah.
some time passes, and you are about a year out from New Earth, and it becomes clear that the infrastructure and equipment for landing the arc ship have been damaged in this 90-year journey. It's not. It may not be clear why it happened. It just matters that like it happened, and now you have a year to um, either
Fix the gear.
fix or replace or substitute the landing mechanisms for this arc ship.
Yeah. Okay. You have 1 year to fix the gear is just sitting in my brain. Um, so I think going all the way back to like the first lad's adventure, um, we said that over the first like year of over the first few years after coming out of cryo, that a lot of those mechs that the builders had been changed to be builder mechs from originally being
Mhm.
automated ship had changed to be builder exosuits, having been changed from being ship repair autonomous drones that would have been like controlled by some sort of ship system.
Mhm.
I think that like trend line has only continued, and we've realized that we don't, even if we had the exos to reconvert them back, we wouldn't have the people that knew how to do that stuff. Um, the people who knew how to do that stuff were on the older side when that original crisis happened. They're long gone. And we were not like the Green Compact and focused on longevity for those people. And we were not like the Mulch Collective and focused on, you know, keeping those things alive as cultural practices. The lads are a hodgepodge people. They are responsive. They're a responsive crew. And while they are builders, the reason that they were building in the first place is because they were building short-term stuff. Um, And so I do think mini Nabi becomes the template. And so rather than trying to repair our way out of this, uh, we try to take what we've learned from mini Nabi to make each of the key plates on the ship detachable and landable. Um,
Oh,
so the ship itself will never be flyable again. If we're looking at this picture and we're envisioning that the ship has like 3 primary landmass plates and 3 viewports, as we approach, maybe the ship just sort of opens and it like nosedives into the
Ooh.
planet, and then they fold open
well, that's
and they
so
just
cool.
pop down onto the land. And most of our work has been put into making it so like those grab plates under each of those 3 sheaths of land, right as it gets close to the land, it will like kick up, and so that way when it hits the ground, it is just a
Mhm.
thing that sends like a dust cloud
Yeah.
outwards, rather than splitting the planet in 2. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Or like cracking those sheets like eggs. Um, so I think that that's the pitch, but trying to do that in a year is a nightmare.
Mhm.
And so I think the work of the builders is starting to put this in place, and the cultural outreach of the builders is a whole bunch of like sweaty lads busting into like the leadership chambers of the Mulch Collective, the Green Compact. There's a special envoy sent out to, Mini Nabi and the Meatheads. Um,
Mhm.
they hack up things on the walls, and it's indication that we can essentially slingshot once around the sun. We can buy ourselves a little bit more time despite the fact that we're, like, running out of fuel.
Mhm.
We can buy ourselves a little bit more time by, like, slingshotting around the sun once and, like, heading towards New Earth, on an
Mhm.
impact trajectory. The upside is that it's gonna give us another, like, 2 years to finish up these changes, and the bad side
Mhm.
is that if it doesn't work, we're all gonna die. Um
Mhm.
and so that is the pitch. It leverages the boldness, it leverages the building, and it involves outreach for support from Mulch or Green, but also knowing that like that might not go over so well with either a tranquil or a long-term thinking culture. So
So
you sort of get that pitch, and then you just look up and you see a member of the builders just standing there, like winded, having given this
Mhm.
slideshow to you.
So just to make sure I'm understanding this, the plan is to basically make like lifeboats for the different
Mhm.
clans and
Yes.
then convert the ship into something that can actually land without either being completely destroyed or like irreparably damaging the planet.
Yes. Yeah. Our hope here is to, at the cost of making the ship never be able to fly again, to turn the like land masses of the ship into sort of our initial homes on the land,
Mhm.
uh, to extrapolate out the mini Nabi model.
It'll have to take into account the like the tech for the sleepers, but like I think it still fits well. Like they're somewhere in this land, or I mean, they can easily be folded up within um
Mm-hmm.
like a given
Mhm.
grav plate. Yeah.
Yeah. I think the Green Carpet are definitely going to be helping because getting the landscape they've been working on for the last 90 years down onto the planet is definitely in aligned with their goals.
Amazing. Is the Mulch Collective helping? Do they have reservations?
I think at this stage, I don't actually see it as a conflict with the sort of tranquil mindset. Like we are approaching the end of this project and we're going to like need to get down onto the planet. Yeah, I think it's an
Anyway,
easy
yeah.
sell. Yeah.
And this is a wild roll, Jamie, as long as you'll allow me, because I think that this is 5d6.
Where's the help me understand, where's the fifth coming from? We have base one,
help.
2 help. Oh,
1 from
yeah, because it's
boldness.
expertise and motivation. Yeah, 5.
Yep.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
My A1, I wanted to court maybe the funniest failure that we could ever get. And B, I think I just said 1 and B. I figured it would be worth it at the cost of permanently scuttling the ship forever.
Mhm.
Literally, I tried to do !R again. 5d6. All right. So, wait. Oh my God. Okay, so this is for sure some successes. This
Yeah.
was attempted to benefit others. This was for sure attempted to benefit others in the community. So I wanted to roll over the number. Currently, the number was a 3. So this scooches me back down to 2.
But 3 success.
3 success, a permanent gain. It's so funny to be like, there's a permanent gain to the ship. There's no ship.
Modular.
Yeah, it is now. No, it is now. You know, an actual colony rather than just an arc ship. It's it wasn't designed to actually be a full, or not easily designed to. Or it may have been, but it wasn't designed to unfold like this when there's been so much, so much additions into the into the landscape and so much, building and everything on there.
Totally. It's very much like we couldn't bear to say goodbye to it.
Definitely.
Like, what were we gonna do? Get the ship to land, and then land the ship and watch the ship lie fallow as everybody spread out into the entire planet waiting under them. Now, instead of mini Nabi being the only stable thing for 100 years, the sort of stable landscape of Nabi, like now the green rolling landmass sitting on New Earth is what it is. Definitely, for sure impacts the local wildlife as with the sheer impact and the introduction of like all that ecological turmoil. So yeah, I think there's probably an argument that the Mulch Collective probably would face a substantial burden in those years to come. And if you want your failure, we might have time.
I mean, maybe, but I don't know. I think that's kind of pushing it, and also like that's just a sort of extension of like I don't think anyone was expecting to get to the planet and be like, oh yeah, now it's time to like lean back and put my feet up on my desk. Like absolutely not. Like this is a time to get there and like get to work more.
And where this planet may have been selected to begin with because it has the conditions for life, but maybe not any signs of complex life in the spectrogram of if we sent a probe out here, however,
ooh, that's a
fun
fun
centuries ago.
Yeah, that's a fun visual. There's a probe that's been here and it's just been pinging back for 200 years. And the entire ship just comes and crushes. crushes it and then folds open like a flower.
Yeah. Yeah, 'cause, I mean that's probably what it was when this these things were launched. Like many probes went out,
Mm-hmm.
and ahead of moving faster because they're just probes rather than generation ships.
Mm-hmm.
And and then the whole point was that they go and then no, that's exactly it. Maybe it was when we received the signal from the probe, that's what's caused the glitch in the systems that caused us to awake.
Yes. Oh,
Oh.
that's so funny. We we didn't have our cryogenics pods on airplane mode or in the sleep focus setting, and so we got the notification from the beacon that it had found local life, and it woke all the pods.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think probably what it would have been as well is that there was a different, it is maybe like there was life, our pods were set to go when, we reached the planet and found and were in a sustainable thing. And there was just some glitch in the AI that they took that to mean the signal from the probe to mean that we woke up, which is why we woke up, but the crew didn't. The crew were supposed to wake when we got into system. That was the
So the captain like stirs awake, has that moment of like coming out of cryo, just like falls to the ground and is getting up on like that 3-point stance and looks around, and there's an entire world around them, and is just sort of like, what the heck? Yes. But I love that idea that the cryopods like alert setting was like, if life equals 1, then wake. And it's like the pod said that there was life locally, and we interpreted that to mean it's go time.
Mm-hmm. I wonder if this this was a a bug which is across the spectrum for all of these class of arc ships, or whether it was just the glitch in our systems which caused it. Oh no, it was probably a combination of that, and then the gravity being all weird that made you think, oh, we're here. There was enough photogravity that I think, oh, we're orbiting the planet, and just the combination of just everything which caused this to happen.
Yeah. I also think the glitch in our systems would be a fun name for this YA novel.
Mm-hmm.
Let me tell you about my great new book, The Fault in Our Stars. It's about a colony ship. There's never been any book written like it or with that title.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. I think that's a game session.
Yeah.
I want to make sure that we can say some thank yous. So first, let me thank the players. Thank you for signing up and being a part of this game and being willing to endure my scatterbrain. Yeah, I'd like to also thank Devin, our stream host, putting everything on the screen that you see there. Thank you, Devin. Thank you to the art team who made all the bespoke Roll Plus Bond awesome art, promotional materials, all that stuff. Thank you to the mods. Thank you to the planners who helped put this all together. Thank you to all the words. Words, damn it. Thank you to the people who put the music together, giving us some atmosphere and vibes for in the breaks and all that wonderful stuff. I feel like I'm forgetting someone, and I'm terribly sorry that I'm probably forgetting someone. But just
I'd
thank
like
you
to
to
thank the
everyone.
good people at the Palestine Children's Relief Fund for doing what they
Oh,
do.
yeah.
And
Heck yes. There's, I think, well, I think you should thank yourself too,
Definitely.
because there is no world in which this comes together without A, the vision to play this, and B, uh, the vision to take us through.
Definitely.
But, but yes, just echoing every single thank you to all parties involved, and hoping that this little story about uh, communal survival and internal togetherness
Hmm.
uh, resonates and feels adjacent to and aligned with the struggles of the people of Palestine.
Definitely. Hmm.